Mike Donovan, CEO of Nexus Services. We're here to pick up Zach's dogs and get them to Virginia. It's going to be an interesting drive, but I think we're excited to get him home. So,
Can you tell us a little bit about, what your future is going to hold for you in Virginia?
Well, I'm gonna have a job there already, so I want to work on like different topics like bullying and stuff. Like, I don't, I want to I want to start like a bullying campaign with Mike, and I want kids to be able to like fit in. Like kids who don't fit in, I want them like to feel like, like there's always somebody they can like relate to or try to fit in with, like so stuff like that.
Why is that a topic you're interested in?
Because my brother didn't really fit in with a lot of people, and I saw the effects of that like firsthand. So like, it's a real issue. So I just want to try to change that, and I want to just end bullying because it's so dumb. Like everybody like deserves to fit in. Like you shouldn't just, I don't know, exclude someone because they're different. And just yeah.
What has just this whole experience been for you living in Florida, and is that part of the reason you kind of want to leave, for a fresh start, or what has this experience been like for you?
It's it's made me stronger, like because I've already been going through a lot, like with my mom when she passed away. That was already a hard time for me, and then what happened with my brother just added on top of that. So, but and now I just have a lot of people that just want to see me fail for no reason. But I think you asked me like, what's the experience been like?
Just, I guess, um, seeing your brother, in the public eye, and just the, his involvement, or with the school shooting. I mean, what has that been like for you?
It's it hasn't been good. It's there's a lot of things I wish I could have did to prevent it. And I wish I could have stopped it somehow, but um,
and if I can speak to that too, I've been with Zach for the last 2 weeks, and our company funded a lawsuit against BSO because of the treatment in the facility. But I have to say that the treatment that he's received from the BSO is recently as last night is nothing short of harassment. And I think that it's important for anyone listening to this kid to understand that no kid who's gone through a quarter of the trauma that this kid's gone through would have his head put together like Zach does. I mean, this is a young man who embodies compassion, and he's caring, and he likes to skate. He is not a dangerous kid by any stretch of the imagination, and people need to understand that. Like, he's been demonized and incredibly unfairly, and the result has been harassing treatment from the BSO. Even just yesterday, Zach went to visit his mother's gravesite, and his ankle bracelet alerted in violation because he had entered Broward County. That's not a condition of his court order, but it was a condition that David Scharf from the Broward County Sheriff's Office had added. David Scharf isn't a judge. He has no right to add conditions, and because he did that, his ankle bracelet alerted. It was vibrating. It was going off. He wasn't able to spend that time with his mother's graveside before he leaves Fort Lauderdale, and it went off for several hours yesterday, creating a massive discomfort. We had to call into the monitoring center. These kinds of things are just furtherances of the harassing treatment that he's received from the BSO, and I've seen it myself. And we're going to be asking Judge Brown to ask for an investigation into how the BSO has continued to treat him even after the most recent court date, because this isn't acceptable. Everybody should care about it, because when police believe they can make their own rules, no one wins. And you know, it seems to me that you have the BSO who completely failed to step in when Zachary's brother was crying out for help, and now you have the BSO engaging in a pattern of harassing conduct. They have to find out how to actually do that job. There are law enforcement agencies across the country that do that job. They need to figure that out. Violating people's civil rights isn't a way to do it.
Yes. And if I may ask, I mean, what was your relationship like with your brother?
It was when we were younger, we used to fight a lot, but as we got older, like teenage years, we made amends, and we came to like terms with each other, and like we accepted that we're both different from each other, but we got along like in the household and stuff. Like we used to always like hang out, like go to the pool, like go outside with the dogs, walk the dogs, play video games. We used to do normal brother stuff together at home, and we had a we had wars. I'd say when we were younger, like we used to not get along, and like there's a little like I felt like I was bullying him a little bit sometimes, and I felt like I was a little too hard on him like at times. And, he was a very like fragile person, so like he needed like my mom was always there for him. Like,
Are you looking forward to getting your dogs and having a fresh start?
yeah.
Why are your dogs being held here?
Yeah, I'll address that actually. I don't want to put you in a position. So he was kicked out of his caretaker's home after his last arrest, which was precipitated by his former caretaker, who I think was angry that she wasn't allowed to use the estate's vehicle and the estate's money. So there was some negativity. They threatened to remove the dogs to the pound, I guess, or shelter. So when he initially got out of jail the last time, we came to his caretaker's home and picked up the dogs. But of course, he was in limbo waiting for the judge to approve his move. So we had to find a place for them. So they've been boarded here in this pet hotel, which they've seemed, by all accounts, enjoyed very much. So now we're going to get them and put them in a 13-hour drive, which I'm sure will be interesting to get them to their home. And it's also interesting to say that one of the dogs was Zach's and one of the dogs was Nick's primarily. So it's important for him to have both, I think.
Yeah. Does he have to do anything else with the court system when he gets up there, like check in, or is there?
He's got the ankle bracelet, but it's all going to be managed through Broward County. So he will be required to mail in a form, and he'll be required to check in with his probation officer once a week. And then he also has counseling that he'll have once a week. And I think that everybody can use counseling. I think this kid's remarkably well adjusted considering what he's been through. I believe that he's going to be a great success. And I also love his heart to help people. And I think that he has a story to tell that can really, hopefully, change the way isolated, disenfranchised kids are treated in the school system. I think we have a community responsibility to get kids and pull them out of the shadows before horrible things happen.
And I had heard the woman that he will be staying with in Virginia, does she kind of she's, I guess, lived through something that she kind of may understand Zachary's situation a little bit?
That's right. She's my employee, and she runs our charitable bonding program across the country. When she heard of Zachary's case, it spoke to her because her brother was convicted in a mass shooting incident where 12 people were shot. So the correlations between Zach's brother being in that situation and Tien's brother being in that situation, I think helps her be a strong mentor to him and helping him understand how to handle some of these issues as he goes through the court system and the public eye as it relates to his brother.
So are you guys heading to Virginia?
We are heading to Virginia, 13-and-a-half-hour drive, so we'll get there this evening.
Do you think this is a necessary thing that needs to happen so that he could start to live a normal life?
I think it's incredibly necessary. I don't think that he would have the opportunities to even live here. And just from my experiences with him over the last 24 hours, he is set up to fail here. And there are people in law enforcement, in government in Broward County that very much want him to fail. I don't understand that. I can't figure it out. But I think getting him to a new place where he can come out of the shadow of his brother's heinous acts and get an opportunity for a fresh start is really important. Whether that be Virginia or anywhere else, it's just not going to happen here.
So what are your hopes for when you go to Virginia? What do you plan to do?
Like the first day.
Well, not
He
first day,
plans
but
for
what's your plan in Virginia? What are your hopes?
Finish high school. Work on this bullying thing I want to do. And just live my life, like
Is there a reason you picked Virginia?
It's
Is that part of
We
the program?
invited him.
yeah.
So it's where our corporate office is.
Okay.
Yeah.
How happy are you that an organization like them stepped up to help you out?
I appreciate it very much. It's like a blessing.
If you don't mind me asking, what dogs are you picking up? What breed are they?
One of them's a golden retriever mixed with like a pit bull. She's really old. And then there's like a smaller like tan fox terrier mixed with something, I don't know.
Which dog was yours and which dog was your brother?
Maisie was mine. She's the golden retriever, and Kobe was my brother's. He's the little fox terrier mix. So.
How long have you guys had them?
We had Maisie for since we were little kids. So I'd probably say like she's probably like 15, 16. She's really old.
So childhood dog.
Yeah. And then Kobe is I'd say he's like 5, 6, but he's still young. He still moves like a puppy. So.
All right, let's go get them.